Plaintiff Ty Hammond hired the defendant to repair her motorcycle, but she claims his work was shoddy, and he was forced to take her bike a second time to fix the initial work he did. However, after the defendant took possession of the bike for a second time, he never returned it, so she's suing. Defendant Tim Call insists he's been in business for over 20 years, and he stands by his work. Tim claims after he repaired Ty's motorcycle for a second time, she refused to pay the balance that was due, so he refused to return the bike. In retaliation, Ty's friend pepper sprayed him in the face. He's countersuing for storage fees and the unpaid bill.
Start with you.
All right, in 309, I had hired Tim to repair the leaky gas tank on my motorcycle, only to find out a couple of weeks later that his shop hasn't been in business for years. He also has a criminal history with drugs, and he's been sued by a lot of other different people. Also, I found a review of his shop online stating that he's done the same thing that he's doing to me right now to someone else.
How did you find out about his shop?
I looked online and found got a list of motorcycle repairs online, and I started calling them. But
you had the bad luck of choosing the wrong one out
yes,
of all
sir.
the places.
Yes, sir. He was the first one to call me back.
All right.
So
I know that's right.
Yeah. Got me one.
He said, "Don't I got me one? Got one to go."
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, man.
Yes,
What
sir.
do you want me to know?
Yes, sir. Like I said, he came to my house to pick it up. When I called him, he said, his company provides a pickup service. He came to my house. My motorcycle had a leaky gas tank. When I spoke with him on the phone, I told him about it. He said he needed to see it first. He came out. He looked at the bike. When I saw him and I saw what a nice guy I thought he was, I asked him if he could find me some tires too. So for the whole thing, for the tires and the repair, he said with $500. So he was picking up the bike. He says, my company requires me to take half of the money now and then half when I return the motorcycle. So I says, fine. I gave him half of the money then. He gave me a receipt. I signed off for him to do those repairs, and he left with the motorcycle. When he brings the bike back, I had two problems. I had a problem with the tires. The tires didn't look like they were new tires. They're usually like little studs on the tires when they're brand new. Those didn't have any studs on them. When I asked him about that, he says, oh, they're brand new tires, it's fine, everything is fine. So then I asked him about the seal on the tank, because when I was previously calling around, like I said, he was the first person to call back, but more people call. And they all said that, we'll weld the tank closed. Well, when he brought the bike back, it just had like a piece of putty over the hole in the gas tank. When I asked him about
You asked him what?
When I asked him about that, I says, is this gonna hold? It's just a piece of putty. He says, oh, don't worry about it. It'll hold, and besides, I'll warranty all of my work. If you have any problems, just give me a call back.
Okay.
So I rode the bike for a few days. I went back out one morning to hop on the bike to go to work because I use it for work. All the gas was out, and that little piece of putty was just laying on the ground. So I give him a call back. I says, of course I'm upset. He's saying, calm down. Don't worry about it. I'll come pick up the bike. I says, well, I'm not going to be here for you to pick up the bike. I says, is there place I can leave the key? He says, yeah, put it on the tire underneath the little piece that hangs over the tire. I say, no problem. So I leave it there. I take off. I leave. A couple of hours later, I get a call from him saying, where's your key? I says, Tim, I left it where you told me to leave the key at. No, you didn't. So I go home, look all over the garage for the key, no key there. Maybe about an hour later, his wife calls me back and says, oh, he found the key. He does that sometimes. He puts things somewhere and he doesn't remember where he put it. So I was upset about that. Weeks pass. When I finally get a hold of Tim, he says, he's upset with me. He says, you didn't give me enough time. I have stuff going on. I didn't have time to get to your bike. I have family issues, whatever. He gives me the sad story, and I feel bad for him. So I say, you know what? Fine. How much time do you need to get my bike ready? Oh, I'll have it by next week, Wednesday. Next week's Wednesday come. I don't hear from him. I call him repeatedly. After I call him for maybe like a week with no responses, and I have phone records to prove that I was calling him repeatedly, I call a lawyer. I call the police and I call a lawyer. I call the police to see if I can report my bike stolen because I don't know where he is. So when I tell the police, well, what can I do? They say, well, you need his address. You have to find out his address. So I start going online. I start digging up everything that I can find out about him. That's when I found his criminal record. That's when I also found that he's being sued by family members. He's being sued by other people. When he had his shop, he's being sued by for monies that he owes, also for repairs.
All right. Let me hear from you, sir.
Basically, sir,
I've been in business for over 20 years. I'm still in business, but because of the economic downturn, I had to sell my commercial location, but I am still doing repairs. I just had to temporarily do some work out of my garage. I'd like to see the evidence that she has about saying anything about any of those criminal records being sued by anybody else. I don't see any.
I have it right here.
There's nobody suing me. None of my family members are suing me.
There's nobody what?
There's nobody else is suing me. Especially not any of my family members.
Not at present. Okay, I see you qualified that.
Not ever.
Maybe last week. Huh?
No,
you
sir.
say never.
Not ever.
No one has ever sued you.
No, I'm not saying that. None of my family members have ever sued me.
Okay, has
I got
anyone
a
ever
divorce.
sued you? Has anyone ever sued
Yes,
you
sir.
relating to repairs?
My business. Yes, sir. I've been to court a couple
Good
times.
enough.
Over
Now you're in
20
court
years.
again for the same thing.
I've been in business for 20 years, sir. Okay. I have a letter here from a customer stating my qualifications. I've been fixing motorcycles ever since 1978 professionally. And she agreed to the chemical repair that I did on the first time was a liquid two-part epoxy to try to externally patch the tank. Okay. And I told her, yeah, I would stand behind that. If it didn't hold, just give me a call back and we'll take care of it. The hole didn't. The putty fell off, like she said. Okay.
Putty.
So
you even admit that you put putty over.
all right.
Put putty over the woman's gas tank.
Okay.
Go ahead. So the putty fell off.
Okay. So I recommended we do an internal seal, a chemical seal internally. Okay. This is kind of a liquid plastic that you treat the tank, and then you put this stuff in and you move it all around and make sure the entire tank is coated, and it takes 5 days
So
for
you
the stuff
took
to
it
cure.
back to do that.
Yes, sir.
And then what?
Okay, then she agreed to the extra $100 because the kit was $50.
That's not true, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
When the job was done, she called the police, and the police came out to my house. I explained to them that she owed an additional $100 on her bill. And they said, well, okay, this is a civil case. I'll go back and explain to her that either she needs to sue you in civil court or she needs to pay the $100 bill and pick up her bike. Okay. After the police left, she came down with her friends and tried to take her bike without paying and everything. After
That's not true,
totally
Your Honor.
disregarding what the police had said. I have a police report here, sir. Totally disregarding
I
what
see
the
your
police had
report.
said to her, and tried to take the bike. And while she was trying to get the bike, I put my hands on the handlebars and tried to pull the key out of the ignition. Her friend came up and pepper sprayed me in the eye and in the ear. And they're on my property, you know, and they come and try to forcibly take the bike. According to Gwinnett County Police there, they were guilty of criminal trespassing and battery. I mean, I didn't do anything to, you know, deserve anybody to come
She
up and
still
pepper
didn't
spray
get her
me.
bike back?
No, sir, she didn't.
You're a tough man. Go ahead. Then what? What has happened since then?
Well, after, you know, they wrote the police report saying that she's guilty of battery and criminal trespassing. The next day.
Guilty or she's charged with it?
Charged with, sir. They wrote a report stating that.
Go ahead.
That she committed that crime. The next day, the next 2 days, she went to another county and tried to have me arrested for stealing her motorcycle, which, you know, like I said, I did not steal her motorcycle. She agreed to the $100. And then she comes to my house and commits these crimes and, you know,
ahead.
doesn't pay her bill, so I'm charged her storage. And then, so the judge told both of us what we had to do. Pretty much they said that, you know, they told me that I can't just hold the bike without filing a mechanic's lien. So I said, okay, then I'll go file a mechanic's lien.
That's not true.
Which is
Your
right
Honor.
here.
The judge never said that.
And she had also
Let's see it.
was told that if she sent a 10-day demand letter that, you know, I'd have to return her property. But like I said, if
So do you have the original estimate that you gave her?
No, sir, I don't.
Do you have it?
I have the original bill, yes, sir.
Yes. All right. And signatures on this one? There's no signature on this $100 you're trying to get from
I think
her.
she explained that, sir, by saying that she wasn't there when I picked up the unit and she left the key. And it just so happened that my
So
grandson
you
pulled the
signed
key.
agreeing to pay him an extra $100?
No, sir.
Sir,
Yes.
I would not have picked up her bike had she not agreed to it. And
I don't
like I said, I
believe you.
picked up
Let
her
me
bike.
tell you what I've just heard from you. You agreed to repair her bike for $500. You did what you thought was a complete repair, but the putty fell out. And so
Sir.
you had to take the bike and attempt to repair it again. And if you don't repair it properly the first time, you can't charge extra the second time. Where's your bike now?
He still has it.
How much is your bike worth?
$2,000.
You have any evidence of that?
Yes, sir.
And your counterclaim is for storage fees. Did you agree to any storage
No,
fees?
sir. I've been trying to get
you
it back
didn't.
for months. Sir.
Last comment, sir. Yes, sir.
I explained to Ty when I first picked up the unit that there was 3 ways in doing this tank. And she was explaining that from the first time that I talked to her on the telephone
She
before
was
I even
told if
picked up
the
the bike.
first time doesn't work, I'm going to charge you more.
And she wasn't told the price, the external seal, because I didn't
Judgment
really
for the
intend to do that.
plaintiff, $3,500.
Thank you,
You
Your
can
Honor.
keep the bike now that you have it because you've paid her for it. Judgment for the plaintiff, your counterclaim is dismissed. Have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you.